Eyeseeme Bookstore originally opened in 2015 when the proprietors found it difficult to find children's books that reflected them as African Americans. Eyeseeme Bookstore has grown since then, and owner Jeffrey Blair and his daughter Sarah are here to tell us more. I'm going to have the spoiler first, which is we're going to talk about this new grand opening for your new space. But before we get into all the details of the celebration for that, I want to kind of take a step back and really learn more about the bookstore, because this is really a unique concept for St. Louis. So how did this all get started?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us here. And well, it all started with myself and my wife, who couldn't be here because she's at the bookstore. When we were raising our 4 children, we found it extremely difficult trying to find books that had characters that looked like them, or that reflected their history or their culture. And so we would work really hard to try to research and find books and find materials that we could do that with them, but it was just really difficult. You know, to the point that actually my wife, she even ended up writing a couple books, and we ended up writing a couple games to try to give them a sense of identity. And so that otherwise, you know, the books that they were reading kind of show them, if they showed them at all, show them maybe as side characters or as secondary or just not there at all. And so we just found it real important to do that. And so in doing that, we saw that it just really helped create a good self-confidence about them, a good sense of putting things into context about even why things are the way they are today when it comes to race and things here in America. And so they did exceptionally well in school. And as they developed and as they went through, you know, we had teachers, we had parents, friends asking us, you know, what was your secret recipe? What is it that you did? You know, was it more tutoring or anything else? Like, no, we're starting out with a basic foundation through literacy and through books that they were able to see themselves and to see the greatness of their forefathers, the things that we were able to do and not just survive but thrive in so many different areas. And I think, you know, being able to do that and attach to that, I think helped really elevate them to allow them to really see there's nothing that they can't do.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, and I would be one of those people to say you clearly found the right formula, because Sarah and your sister, your twin sister, are students at WashU. You have a child at Hart who graduated from Harvard. You've done really, really well. Sarah, tell me a bit about, we were looking at some images, but about the books that you carry. Just they cross genres, is that correct?
Right, they do cross genres. They're from sci-fi, they're fiction, nonfiction. We even our main focus though is children's bookstore. We carry books from toddler age all the way to adult. It's really for the whole family to come and experience, you know, kind of our Black culture. And it's diverse, and it's not just for Black families, but it's for all families, so they could see our representation in history and in fiction and nonfiction, and just to kind of broaden the spectrum of how we read and what we read.
Right. It's so interesting because your store is a model of also what you're trying, you know, to do, which is these books are out there. They're being written. People just don't know in one location where they can find them. And so you're providing a home to that, which is the same as authors who've kind of always been around. They just didn't necessarily have the, you know, the merchant who was kind of bringing them to market. You do a lot on the community service side, and I do want to highlight that. I mean, you're a physical brick and mortar store.
That's right.
You're online.
Correct.
But then tell me also about these services that you do with the community.
Absolutely. We have a lot of partnership with schools, and we go out and we do a lot of book fairs, and we go out and we provide books at the book fairs. Again, the full range of diverse books, as Sarah had said, from, you know, elementary, preschool, all the way to high school, and even adults, even books for teachers. A lot of times, you know, teachers want to understand multiculturalism and diversity and things that they need to know about dealing with individuals from different races, different cultures. We also go out and we do a lot of professional development, you know, to also help to talk about, you know, the importance of diverse books. And so we do a lot of different things in partnerships in the community. And we also do other partnerships that even at the store, where we're working with Dream Builders for Equity, which is a nonprofit organization that takes at-risk kids and teaches them skills such as contracting, electrical, plumbing, those different type of things. They end up buying homes and they end up fixing it up, learning the skill, and then when they flip it, they end up getting funds that they can utilize for their secondary education. And so they're working with us at the bookstore now, actually building out a cafe at the new place.
Nice.
So we're going to use that as an amenity for the bookstore.
That's very cool. And Sarah, before we wrap this segment, just tell me what's like, you're a student, a full-time student at WashU, as I mentioned, but like when you're working there, what's like your kind of typical day in the life at Eyeseeme Bookstore? I mean, in terms of clientele, who's coming in, kids coming in, what's it like?
Well, as far as clientele, we get a broad spectrum of kind of people that come in, and my kind of job is to show them, because this is kind of, there's not a bookstore like this, so it's kind of interesting to see their responses, especially if it's their first time there or they're bringing new people. Their responses to the type of books that we offer. So I always bring them through. We do a little tour of kind of what we offer. And I bring out books that are kind of popular that I even enjoy for the specific people that they bring in. And I kind of show them around and just make them feel welcome in the Eyeseeme.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. Well, we've got some information there for you on the screen. It's about an upcoming event, which we're actually going to get into the details of in our next segment. But if you want to learn more about the bookstore, see what books they actually are carrying, ones that you can order online or in store, head to eyeseeme.com. But that information there about the August 31st event, we're going to talk more about that when we come back. So stay with us. There's more STL Live right after this.